Hey, what's up everybody? It is Shane here at Waiting to Be Seen. I want to welcome you to today's video. I'm pretty excited because I'm going to be doing an unboxing, but I'm just noticing something's a little bit missing, so let's go fix that. Yeah, there you go. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Yeah, definitely completes the shot. So today we are talking about lights with a bit of an unboxing. This is how we do it. This is the AL-M9. This unit is excellent for its size. It has a pretty decent light output. Having something that is really good, really useful, really diverse. I mean, if I've just got got a few little bits here. Let me just pull out some of these bits. Cable, cold shoe mount. So gives you the capacity to stick that on top of your camera, or it's got this little thread on the bottom, which if I do this for a minute, there you go. Yes, I know, I'm a Renaissance man with multi-tool. Just as a bit of an example, they're set at daylight, so 5500 Kelvin. If you don't know what that means, then please consider checking out my video on color temperature and color balancing. I'll link that up in the description as well as up here somewhere. So this helps to make it bluer, so up to, I guess, closer to 85 or 8800 Kelvin. And then there's also one which will bring it down to more of a tungsten color balance. At this low setting right now, they reckon that you'll get about up to 13 hours of light. At full ball, you'll probably get about an hour to an hour and a half. The CRI is 95 plus, and actually even the television rendering, that is 95 plus on these things as well. So it makes it incredibly good for video production of pretty much any sort, which is great. It's a really good little piece of kit for the $70 that you pay. For those who don't know, I'm actually one of the administrators for a YouTube Facebook group for Australian YouTubers, and that's been kind of cool, you know, being able to contribute in that way to pay back a little bit. Pretty much twice a week we create a post so that all of the content creators can share their latest content, and that way it makes it easy to kind of correlate it all into a single space so we can all then watch it. One of the guys there, Nathan, he posted a video where he was doing a bit more of an in-depth review about a light, a new little light that he's got. And his YouTube channel is Nate's Escape, and he went and did a really good demo to the point where I thought, you know what? I'm always interested in having some manner of light that's going to help me do a better job as a content creator myself. So I'll have a look and I'll compare to see how this one goes compared to my Amarans, because I've got two of those and I love them. This, well, let's have a look. Let's open this up. The P1 Cine EDC Gear RGB video light. This is what I'm talking about. There we go. I'll put that away, safety first. And let's crack this thing open. And here we go. This is from Boling. It is the P1. If I take this off, welcome to the RGB world. That's pretty cool. Let's compare it side by side, size-wise first. So first thing, obviously you can see it is significantly larger than the Amaran, but the Amaran is a single LED light fixture. It's only 5500 Kelvin, and that's it. Unless you put on the gels, that's all you're going to get. This, I already know. I've done a little bit of research. That's why I thought, yes, I'm gonna go out and buy this because that'll be pretty sweet. Is actually RGB, and it means that the white balancing on it, I can actually play around with the white balancing so that it goes from 2,500 Kelvin all the way up to 86. I think it's 86, maybe 8,500 Kelvin. It's a nice little pocket packet in here as well. Charging cable, that's another shoe mount, which is good. And that's it. $250 versus $70. So I could have 3 of these and have change left over compared to just having one of those. Now, in terms of light output, I've looked at some of the specs. The Amaran actually has, I think I already said that it's about 900 lux at about half a meter, about 50 centimeters. This, on the other hand, pushes out a little over 1400 lux. So it's stronger. It has more LEDs. That makes a lot of sense. It has this on-built little frame, and it's a full 360 degrees. And obviously that's not 360 degrees exactly, but it basically allows you to mount with any of the screw mounts that you have here onto your bit of kit, and away you go. Add to that this funky little piece here, which will then, I guess, allow me to put it into a shoe mount somewhere. There we go. Yep, good. Nice and tight on that. Could then stick that onto a shoe mount, and that could be offset, obviously. Could be up like this, depending on how I mount it. I could mount it here so that it's sitting flush. That's kind of cool. I like the fact actually that it gives you the flexibility to have a full 360 degrees. That's definitely a big win over this, because that mounts like so. You screw it on, and the shoe mount is flat, and so you can adjust left and right, but that's it. At least this gives you, yeah, some real full flexibility, full tilt flexibility, 360 degrees. That's, yeah, that alone, is it worth the extra? Probably not. This is where some of the other elements really start to come to the fore. So it's on, but it's at 0. This is on. And if I press down, that is as low as it goes. And then I can dial it all the way up to 100%, dial it down to minimum is what they call it. This is on. It is on right now, but it's at 0%. It is fully dimmable. That's a big win, definitely. It's currently set at 5600 Kelvin. I can take that all the way down to, I think I said it was 2500, right? Yep, 2500. If I turn that on, you'll see it's now very, very warm in terms of color. It's actually cool in terms of color temperature. I know it's a bit backwards, but watch my video on color temperature and you'll understand. And yep, that dims all the way down to 0, which is great. Okay, so now I've just pressed the set button and that's changed it to red. So it's basing it on hue and saturation. That is what this on the rear of the panel is all dealing with. 360 degrees, which should be 100% red. Turn that up to 100%. There you go. Oh, certainly a lot brighter at 100% than the Amaran is. The lux output of this compared to this, I think you can tell it's a much stronger light, this one. And so that's at 360 on the rear here. If I then just cycle through that, let's go down to 240. On the rear here, 240 is around the blue, and that's what it is. It's about blue. So in addition to adjusting then the hue, you can adjust the saturation as well. And yeah, that's a pretty nifty function. And then it seems to have a couple of different preset options, a little bit of a disco option, just cycling through the RGB, which is good. And that's just by pressing the set button here. So there's function, there's set. So that's just pressing the set button. It's fairly intuitive actually using this system. By pressing set once, twice and 3 times. The first time is dealing with just the color balance of the white. The second time is then dealing with the RGB colors, and pressing it a third time then gives you these 3 fun functions. I don't think you'd ever necessarily need to use it, you know, unless you had some manner of thing where you're like, yes, I actually really need to have the visual imagery of police having pulled the car over or something. You know, you could then potentially use that as a bit of a light that's outside of your car perhaps. And because it's bright enough, like that's at 20%, and that's doing a reasonable job of lighting my face. That can push all the way up to 100%. So that's about half a meter away from me at the moment. So that should be around about 1400, 1450 lux. So it should be quite bright. And so there it is, a bit of an unboxing, the Boling P1. It's called the P1, and they do have it on the back here that it's the vlogger. Weight-wise, it's got a bit more weight to it than this. I'm not saying that this is going to replace this at all. No way, because these live 100% of the time in my go bag, and I use them all the time. This, it's got a bit more heft to it. But I think that given that it is RGB, given that it also has the white temperature from 2500K all the way up to 8500K, gives it a lot more flexibility, innate flexibility to work with whatever lighting I happen to have. It's good that it comes with its own little carry case as well, actually. Though, with that being said, does it? Let me look. I don't want to speak out of turn. No. Okay, so that's interesting. So this is how you charge it. It's got an inbuilt battery, and it takes about 2 hours, I think, from memory, but there's nowhere to put that. At least with this, you know, Aputure did a little bit of a better job in terms of developing the way that you can pack your stuff down. So that sits in there. That's the charger for that. That actually goes in there. These then can sit in the front, and then the light can sit in the front of there. And both of those get zipped away and quite literally thrown into a case because it is so light. I think it's 140 grams. So it's almost negligible how light that is. This, I wouldn't want to do that with that. This has a bit more heft to it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of an unboxing, the Boling P1. I think that's a decent buy. Certainly, in my humble opinion, worth paying the $250 for. Nate, I want to give you a big shout out, mate, because this was 100% because of you and because of the conversation that we had both on Facebook as well as on YouTube. If you want to check out some of his content, I'll be sure to link him down below in the description, as well as put a card up here, somewhere around here. And that way you can check out his stuff, because he also does a whole bunch of videography and content creation stuff, and his channel is pretty cool. But before you go and check his channel out, if you have enjoyed my content today, then give me a big old thumbs up down below if you think that this content has been valuable for you and that the other content that I have on my channel here at Waiting to Be Seen might be of use to you now and into the future. Then consider subscribing. I'd love to have you on board for the journey. Subscribe, come along. Click on the big red subscribe button down below. Click on the notification bell right alongside that in YouTube. They do the rest, man. They'll let you know as soon as my latest content drops week to week. And on that note, this is Shane, Waiting to Be Seen. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and that the week ahead is looking pretty good as well. And I look forward to seeing you next week for even more content. Oh no, the cops have run!
That's gonna leave a mark.
What?